Hey guys, what's going on? It's World AIDS Day today. World AIDS Day was started in December 1988 to raise awareness about AIDS around the world, hence World AIDS Day. Anyway, I'm really a little bit upset because I wanted to have a better presentation for you guys. I really had a couple people in mind that I wanted to interview regarding this and put it out like on this day, but with everything going on, it just snuck up so fast. And I just remember last night, I was like, oh no, tomorrow's World AIDS Day. So anyway, I want to direct you toward the description section. There is, I'm gonna leave some links for you to look at. One is a movie called The House of Numbers. If you have not seen that, I would suggest that. It's really informative and you should. Another one is called The Emperor's New Virus. Another one, there are just a couple of clips that I have talking about Luc Montagnier, one of the co-discoverers of AIDS, and how he was basically, well, you watch the clip, I'm not going to spoil it for you. And then I actually did a lecture on Anthony Fauci a few months ago, and it is tied to AIDS, because when Anthony Fauci was head of the, what is it, NIAID now? It used to be NICH, but it's NIAID now. There were actually doctors and scientists that were on the verge, or they actually had a cure for AIDS, and it was a natural cure, and it involved just revving up the immune system instead of giving people antivirals. And I talk about it in the lecture. And Anthony Fauci basically squashed that. But I think that they're, watching this movie and watching or the movies that I put in the description, listening to the lectures, it will really give you a good idea of how this ties in to the coronavirus pandemic scam and how they're using it to trick people today. There are a lot of parallels. Another really good book that you might want to look at is Peter Duesberg's Inventing the AIDS Virus. But yeah, I'm gonna leave. I think Gary Null has I'm gonna see if I can get that link too. There's another, I think it's AIDS Inc. or something by Gary Null. I'll put all those links in the description. I would really suggest that you see this if you want to have some informative knowledge on AIDS. I started this channel, the podcast that I started as a health freedom activist. And it's my passion to empower people with the knowledge so they are very independent of pharmaceutical drugs and vaccines and all this stuff. And once you start to wrap your head around this, then the fear really goes away. I had two family friends die of AIDS when I was a child, and I watched both of them pretty much deteriorate before my eyes. And they were on the AZT. I mean, they had the Kaposi sarcoma, the skin cancers. They were starting to get thin, and they were just like, literally just wasting away. And it was the scariest thing to watch. And I wonder if they had this information, would they be open to it? Would I have been able to save their lives? I was only like, maybe the first time I was like maybe 9 or 10, and I saw this happening to one of them. And then the other guy, Lee, first guy's name was Marvin, and the second guy's name was Lee. And it's funny because I know there's an actor named Lee Marvin, but they're two different guys. And Lee was like an uncle to me. And Lee passed away when I was older, but I still did, when I was an adult, like in my 20s, I still didn't know any of this stuff. But every time I would visit him and stuff or see him, he just gets sicker and sicker and skinnier and skinnier. It was just terrifying to me, and it was just like, I don't know, like I just felt so bad for him, and it was just, I don't know, it's a very devastating thing to watch somebody die and you know that they're dying. You want to do something about it. So I hope these documentaries give you insight into AIDS and into what's going on. And I also want to give a big shout out to my friend, and I would say mentor, and one of my inspirations, Scheff. He was a journalist who actually turned me on to this information. He's actually I think he's in the House of Numbers documentary, if you want to see who he is. but he was a journalist, discovered that basically they were testing age drugs on orphans. And he was, you know, he tried to, of course, go to like the New York Times and all the other big wigs, and they just ignored it. They didn't care. They didn't give a shit. It would have been a big story. But, you know, they don't care, being the mainstream media that they are, being that they have ties to the pharmaceutical industry. And, you know, these asshole elites, they love to experiment on orphans, military people, homeless people, people in jail, people in mental institutions, because they don't have anybody to fight for them, really. And I remember, I'm going to see if I can find his video, because he has a channel, even though he's passed away. His channel is still up, I think. But he was talking about how he basically how he was trying to get this out. It was devastating. He was like, I cried for days. I think that was his wake-up call about the fake news and how the media is fake and stuff. You know, he's just like, I'm a journalist. It like broke his heart. It was horrifying for him and just devastating. But I really, you know, and me and his other mentees continue to push his work on. And I hope that this inspires you and empowers you as well. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Peace, truth, love. Bye-bye.